Good morning. This is my Meyer e-58 plow I got on my 2011 Dodge. Okay, what I'm having is when I have the key off, everything off, and this plugged in, my motor runs. So I have to unplug my socket here to get my motor not to run. Okay, so we unplug that. And since I'm trying to diagnose this is how I'm going about it. This is your pistol grip controller here, and I just unclipped it. But these two things here, this is your 12 pin, hooks up to your harness. You unplug that. That isolates, that takes the controller out of the situation. And then by thinking about how it should run, this is how I'm going to do this. I take my multimeter, I come out, I find my solenoid for my plow. I trace the right hand side here, comes all the way back to the positive side on my battery. Comes right down through here behind the positive side of my battery. Before I start working, see, I already know what's wrong with it, but I'm just going to show you. So right now, I should have, I just reconnected my ground. I turned my voltmeter here to 12 volts. That's what you have on a truck. I'm going to try to pop the camera here so you can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to touch the battery side. Can you see that? You see my probe right there? That's my red probe to the battery side to a good, what I know is a good ground. And I'm reading 13.5 volts. Now, I'm going to go to the working side of the solenoid, and I'm going to do it again, and I've got 13.5 volts. Now, how I understand that this runs is like this. You've got power coming into here. This is nothing more than a switch. You have power coming in this side. This wire runs down to my controller, and that operates the switch when it wants to run the electric motor for the pump. So this sends a signal to the switch operates. Then after the switch is operated with the pistol controller, I should get juice out of here. But what's happening is, I think that this is stuck in the open position and the juice is just flowing straight out there, and as soon as I plug it in, the motor runs. So what I'm saying is, this is my motor solenoid, and this is what I think is the bad part. I'm going to go get one at a shop and replace it, and then I'll tell you if I'm right or wrong. But before you work on this, very first thing you should do, take your 5/16 wrench, loosen up this negative battery cable, and pull her. I got it loosened already. I just had it off. And you pull that off, and you isolate that where it's not going to touch it. Okay? And then you can start. I believe that's a 1/2 inch. This is probably 5/16. This one over here is 1/2 inch probably as well. And it looks like the screws going up into the firewall are probably 3/8. And what I'll do with that is I'm going to clean up all the contacts and replace this little solenoid. This looks like one of the old Ford solenoids, but it's not. Alright, you want to go with what Meyer specs out for it. Either with a Meyer part or that specs exactly like it. Alright, thank you very much. Have a good day. Alright, here we are back at the solenoid again. Now I have a jumper connected to the red cable on my ohm meter right there, and to the positive side of the battery. Now I'm going to touch the ground over here, and we're reading 12.48, 12.5 volts. Okay. Now, if you remember back to the other video, I didn't have the jumper, which didn't work as good. It's a little harder to video. And now I'm going to attach the jumper to the other side. This is with the controller off. Remember, I had the problem that my motor was running. my plow motor. Now I'm going to touch the ground again, and nothing should be going on. And if you look right there, my voltmeter just does that when there's no load. But it's not putting out 12.5 out the other side like it was with the old solenoid. So I think that fix is fixed. Okay, we're going to go around. The tell will be this. When I open this, it's very cold out today. And I got a bunch of lithium grease in here because this is a piece of equipment.